say that this is not meddling. You have made it clear that if he is no longer in power, it will be the case that everything can go forward and U.S. and Pakistan relations could be restored. And so here, let's go back to and continue.
I guess the money quote in that was saying that Pakistan would, or that Imran Khan personally would have continued isolation because of his visit to Moscow. Is that, can you explain that in terms of, I mean, if we take that as given that that was an accurate comment, what that meant?
So without stipulating whether it's an accurate or comment or not, if you take all of the comments in context that were reported in that purported cable, I think what they show is the United States government expressing concern about the policy choices that the prime minister was taking. It is not in any way the United States government expressing a preference on who the leadership of Pakistan ought to be.
I think what I'm hearing is that essentially the substance of this report and the purported Pakistani cable back to Islamabad is accurate. But you're saying that it is not the U.S. saying that then Prime Minister Khan should leave office. Is that correct?
Close-ish. I cannot speak to the veracity. Close-ish, and I'll explain what I mean.
What I mean by close-ish. That's a diplomatic term.
Exactly. I'll explain what I mean by that.
Yeah, that's Matt Lee asking him the question.
The veracity of this document.
Okay.
Let me just finish. What I can say, even if those comments were all 100% accurate as reported, which I do not know them to be, they do not in any way show a representative of the State Department taking a position on who the leadership. They're commenting on.
Can understand though, perhaps you can understand
what the State Department did in the days of WikiLeaks publishing their diplomatic cables. And he says, first off, as a purported cable. So if it's accurate, maybe it is. I don't know if it's real. It could possibly be made up. But let's just say if it isn't a fake cable, then let me just respond to what's in there and just say with great utmost certainty that the U.S. wouldn't do this. We don't lean on other countries and demand that their leadership leave power. And you don't see that in the cable. We're not asking for so-and-so to leave office. We think that Imran Khan is just a policy difference, which is really just saying that we have a difference of views on the policy. We're not saying we actually did make this statement. Like, he's trying to twist, and everything that he's saying, it is abundantly clear that they have been caught. They are still not able to come up with a good response. They had their lie, and the lie was exposed, and now they don't know what to say about it because the people there have this cable and it did take place. Everything in it is something that you could point to. I mean, Imran Khan has been jailed. He has been removed from power. The U.S. has gone about its response in a way that suggests that it supports this political repression. They're not speaking out against this political repression. By saying it's an internal matter for Pakistan to deal with, they are saying they are supportive. They're saying they're complicit. They're saying they're okay with it. Go ahead, Pakistan, handle it however you will.
Okay.
Let me just finish. What I can say, even if those comments were all 100% accurate as reported, which I do not know them to be, they do not in any way show.
The cipher mentions the no confidence vote.
Taking a position on who the leadership. They're commenting on.
Can understand though, perhaps you can understand why other countries might think when the U.S. weighs in, even in a way like this, that it is taking a position. I mean, I can think name like 5 or 10 leaders who the United States has sought to oust, including some that it has been successful in ousting, although only after military invasions. So, it's not an unprecedented thing for a country to think that the U.S. is trying to pressure it into, or trying to make its views known about who it thinks should be the leader of a country, right?
I will say that I can understand how those comments, number one, could be taken out of context, and number two, how people might desire for them to be taken out of context and might try to use them to advance an agenda that is not represented by the comments themselves.
And do you think that's what's happening?
I think a number of people have taken them out of context and used them for political purposes. I won't speak to intentions, but I think that's what's happened.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to continue to go to people that haven't had questions yet. Matt is here every day with questions. So the people that
I will return.
I appreciate that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Matt.
Has decided that he no longer wants any questions about Pakistan at the press briefing because he's becoming visibly uncomfortable if he has to lie anymore about what the U.S. has done in Pakistan. So what you see there is self-evident. The U.S. has been unmasked, and Matt Lee is absolutely right. Off the top of your head, anybody can probably come up with 5 to 10 countries. I know the list is much longer, but let's just say common knowledge, 5 to 10 countries easily where leaders have been couped, they've been removed, there have been plots against them in history. And so the reputation of the U.S. is one in which if the U.S. government doesn't like what you're doing, especially in particular regions of the globe, you know what the message is, implicitly or explicitly. Maybe not so much in Europe, but go south of the equator where people are a little bit more of the less pale persuasion. And it's going to be the case that when the U.S. comes to visit and they make their position known, you are to fall in line with that position, or else there will be consequences for you. It will either make the relationship more tense and uncomfortable,